expert tips on how to keep exercising during cold winter weather. When it's chilly and dark outdoors, it might be hard to stay motivated to stay in shape. Here are some professional suggestions for staying active in the winter. Running in some of the world's coldest climates is something Kira Balmano has done. The Australian trail runner has raced huge distances at 6,000 meters, 19,685 feet, over windswept mountain passes in the Himalayas, where temperatures may drop as low as -10°C, 14°F. Running at high altitudes in these remote mountains excites me, declares Balmano. In frigid weather, even Balmano, an ultrarunner, finds it difficult to muster the will to go outdoors. However, she claims she doesn't often regret it. It's excellent training for ultrarunners because it's very difficult to run in the cold, much alone get out of bed and go for a run. It's a tremendous dopamine release and has helped me become more resilient, she adds. During the chilly, gloomy winter months, it might be tempting to lie in bed and forgo your daily workout. Nearly 60% of American people claim that their winter activity levels are lower than their summer ones. However, experts believe that keeping active is crucial all year round and that stepping outdoors and seeing sunshine may help fight the winter blues. They also add that winter workouts can be fun, safe, and pleasant if we take the appropriate measures. What are the advantages and disadvantages of working out in the cold, and what do you need to know to have a good workout in sub-freezing temperatures? Fighting the winter blue. Wintertime depression, sometimes referred to as seasonal affective disorder, SAD, may develop during the coldest, darkest months of the year. Decreased energy, a lack of interest in activities, oversleeping, and a persistently depressed or worried mood that lasts for at least 2 weeks are all signs of sadness. Learn more about how January's gloomy days affect your sex drive, IQ, and mood. According to studies, exercise, when combined with bright light treatment, may help reduce certain feelings of sadness. Although little is known about the psychological advantages of exercising in cold weather, Mike Tipton, a physiology professor at the University of Portsmouth's Extreme Environments Laboratory in the UK, asserts that exercise is good for mental health. According to a 2020 research, even if a person has a greater genetic risk for depression, they are less likely to experience it if they exercise for many hours each week. Anecdotally, Balmano claims that jogging outside in the cold at high elevations has been really great for my mental health, self-confidence, and self-discipline. She claims that it has made me more resilient because it's uncomfortable. I have to take real responsibility for my safety because that hikers, skiers, and snowshoers, who are carrying heavier loads due to their equipment and clothing, are likely to expend more energy. Putting on heavy boots and traversing over loose snow, that adds to their energy expenditure. There are ways to make exercising in chilly weather simpler, even if it still presents certain difficulties. Here are some tips for staying safe and performing better while working out in the cold so you can feel your best all year long. Warm up indoors. According to study, cold air may also impair your endurance, particularly if you don't warm up adequately before working out. The endurance performance of athletes who waited at various temperatures prior to beginning an intense bike ride was compared by researchers at Brock University in Canada. Before beginning to cycle, the first group waited for half an hour in a 22 degrees Celsius 72 degrees Fahrenheit chamber. The second group shivered as the temperature was progressively reduced from 22 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius 32 degrees Fahrenheit during a 15-minute period. The second group's endurance, the amount of time they could continue exercising before becoming tired, was shown to have decreased by 31% as a result of the cooling impact. According to the research, a third and fourth group saw a 30 to 40% decrease in endurance when they began cycling only after their core temperature dropped by 0.5 C or 1 C, 0.9 F or 1.8 F. According to the study's results, it's crucial to be warm before working out. It is a very good idea to warm up indoors before you go outside, Tipton states. Start working out as soon as you leave the house. In this manner, the likelihood of experiencing the first drop in body temperature that results in the cessation of blood flow to the extremities is reduced. Layer up. According to Tipton, it's crucial that individuals run at a comfortable speed throughout the winter and avoid exhausting themselves to the point where they have to walk, since that's when they'll feel chilly. He goes on to say that individuals may change their layers more easily than their running speed. So if you start going uphill at your normal pace and you're getting a bit warmer, you could take a layer off and you'd still have the perfect heat exchange, states Tipton. Finding the ideal balance is crucial when layering up, according to Mississippi State University Assistant Professor of Exercise Physiology John Eric Smith. You want to be warm without perspiring. That's the perfect location. Water is a great conductor of heat. It draws the heat out of our bodies, Castellani states. For this reason, he advises against working out in damp or sweaty clothing while it's chilly outdoors. It's not really an issue as long as you're moving and active. Problems might arise when you slow down or stop and you're not producing as much heat to remain warm, adds Castellani, who cites the case of several runners who suffered from hypothermia during the 2018 Boston Marathon due to the It can be dangerous when I'm running alone in the Himalayas in extremely cold weather. Additionally, it boosts my self-confidence and decision-making abilities, boosting your resilience. The advantages of cold water swimming for mental health, which has gained popularity recently, is one field of study that is expanding. Many swimmers claim that the exercise clears their minds, increases their energy, and improves their mood. Heather Massey, a senior professor at the Extreme Environments Laboratory at the University of Portsmouth, has been studying the effects of cold water on the human body. According to Massey, submersion in cold water triggers a cold shock reaction, which raises blood pressure and pulse rate and releases stress chemicals like cortisol and adrenaline into the body. There are more questions than answers at this point, and study is still being conducted, but Massey thinks this might help explain why many individuals claim they feel happier, more alert, and rejuvenated after swimming. During the swim, the stress hormones are elevated, and right after, you begin to feel what we refer to as the post-swimming hive because of this concoction of hormonal reactions. It's possible that this physiological reaction makes you feel happier, Massey adds. That's one hypothesis. Another school of thinking holds that individuals may begin to see they can handle other stressful aspects of their lives if they can handle a very extreme bodily stressor, such as submerging themselves in cold water. Massey thinks there is enough evidence to support clinical studies, including her own investigation into whether outdoor swimming helps lessen depressive symptoms, even if the research on the mental health advantages is still in its very early stages. Finding a local club or certified coach to help you is something Massey advises everyone who is keen to attempt outdoor swimming. She adds that before submerging oneself in cold water, persons with cardiac issues or underlying medical illnesses should see their physician. It might be difficult to exercise in chilly weather. There is a physiological explanation behind this, according to experts. In Tipton's words, cold air serves as an analgesic. Your nerves don't fire as well, and your muscular function is impaired because of a reduction in blood flow. Tipton goes on to say that 11°C, 52°F, is the ideal temperature for working out. According to Tipton, performance begins to suffer if it becomes hotter or colder. According to John Castellani, a research physiologist at the U.S. Army Research Institute of Environmental Medicine in Massachusetts, we use more energy while exercising in cold weather. We're not talking large amounts of energy, but it is a little bit higher, Castellani states. Since runners wear lightweight gear, this shouldn't have a significant impact on them. However, he notes, windy and rainy conditions. According to him, this may be especially troublesome in the latter stages of an activity session, like the second half of a marathon. The external environment is actually drawing more heat away from people than they're generating themselves, and that's when their core temperature starts to fall, Castellani explains. Experts advise wearing many thin layers to prevent perspiration, which you may take off if you start to feel too hot. The mistake is running in an all-or-nothing garment, Tipton states. You're much better off wearing layers. When Balmano runs in the Himalayas, he always has a down jacket, also known as a puffer jacket, merino wool thermals, and a layer that is windproof and water-resistant. The key is layering. Since I have to go over a pass where it's very windy and cold, and I become even colder, I don't want to perspire so much that my garments get soaked, she explains. Naturally, this may not work for everyone since, even under the same ambient circumstances, people's rates of perspiration might vary greatly. Regardless of the temperature at which they exercise, some individuals may discover that they perspire excessively. However, by properly selecting garment materials, individuals may still prevent excessive heat loss. Drink enough water. According to experts, one common error individuals make while working out outside in the winter is to not drink enough water. Breathing cold air can very quickly dehydrate you, Tipton claims. Compared to warm air, cold air is less moist. He claims that when we exhale, we are losing quite a lot of fluid since we add moisture when we take in the dry air. It's also why we get dehydrated in air-conditioned environments because the air is cool and dry. Some studies show people actually become more dehydrated in cold and cool conditions than in hot weather because the need to drink water is not top of mind, Smith explains. To find out how much fluid and electrolytes individuals need to take in cold weather and across varying distances, Smith advises people to do their own sweat test. It's simple. You just weigh yourself before and after your exercise session, accounting for any fluid or food that you consume during that time, according to him. When jogging in chilly weather, Belmano says she always has at least 500 milliliters to a liter of water with her, and she uses electrolytes to rehydrate after her run. As long as you are taking the proper measures, there is no need to postpone your winter bike ride or run, Tipton adds. If you layer up and hydrate, you should be fine.